From the CyberHub bunker and studio, you're tuning in to the CyberHub Podcast. And now for your host and CISO, James Azar.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the CyberHub Podcast. We've got a great show planned for you today. Sorry for missing yesterday's show. We were traveling, we were out on the road, trying to get this out. I was planning on being in Black Hat this week. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it there, but I'm in Dallas, Texas. So if you're in Dallas, hit me up. Would love to hang out and see some friendly faces while I'm in town. All right, folks, we're going to get right into today's show because we've got a lot to talk about and not enough time. I want to try and get this in under 10 minutes. Here we go. My morning cup of espresso, coffee cup cheers. Let's get into IBM patching several high-severity vulnerabilities in cloud voice and security products. The patches that were announced on Monday apply to Netezza for Cloud Pak for Data, Voice Gateway, and Site Protector. Really, IBM Netezza for Cloud Pak for Data has probably two issues that are rated high, has a CVSS score of 7.5, but they are urging to get upgraded into the new release 1.1.2.1.6 of the platform that will help kind of mitigate those risks, including denial of service attacks. Those are especially in Golang language. So if you are using those Golang packages, this may be very important for you. Also, the 5.Node.js vulnerabilities that impact the voice gateway have been patched as well. Those cover the DLL bugs and the also DNS server or spoof that are available there. And if you're using Site Protector system version 3.1.1, that's been addressed with the release of version 3.1.1.19er of the appliance. So you want to make sure you get that updated as well. An open redirect flaw in AMEX and Snapchat was being exploited in phishing attacks, according to a recent report. The report talks about a redirect flaw that existed because of the impacted website didn't validate user input, which allows threat actors to manipulate URLs to redirect users to malicious sites. Because the manipulated link contained a legitimate domain name, the user might consider the link safe. However, the trusted domain is only used as a landing page. It then curates and does credential harvesting. This impacted both Snapchat.com and AmericanExpress.com. 7,000 phishing emails targeting Snapchat users, 2,000 targeting AMEX. This was reported to both companies in August of last year. And as such, AMEX patched it, Snapchat did not. And so why did Snapchat not do it? It could be that this isn't a big problem. Snapchat is mostly a mobile app. No one really uses it on its website. Its website is predominantly just there for the sake of online presence. It could be that they didn't see the need for it. Let's talk a bit about China. So China, since Speaker Pelosi visited Taiwan, and that was the excuse they were looking for, to trigger to go back acting like China typically acts, and have acted over the last year and a half or so, a bit longer with that. From a cyber perspective, a briefing I got yesterday also really, really high level about China showing an increase in activity. Specifically here, they're targeting industrial enterprises and public institutions in Afghanistan and Eastern Europe. This is coming from essentially a new China-linked threat actor, TA426, also known as Vicious Panda. In the past, been seen targeting Ukraine, Russia, Belarus, and Mongolia, believed to be kind of targeting the former USSR bloc. But in this time, they're also targeting Afghanistan. And since the U.S. pulled out of Afghanistan, China's tried to get a foothold in Afghanistan with the Taliban government. And as such, you can see that this is being part of their long-term game there to kind of get some espionage and intel over what's happening there as well. So attack chains intel penetrating the enterprise IT networks. They're using phishing emails, including some that reference non-public information pertaining to the organizations to trick recipients into opening rogue Microsoft Word documents, meaning they've got moles inside. Their espionage works on multiple levels here. So they're able to identify some non-public information or maybe information they would know because of their relationship and their goals with these organizations. They're then phishing them using that information and getting into backdoors. Some of these backdoors as old as 2017 with CV 2017-11882, the equation editor component memory corruption flaw. And China continues to do this. They continue to target organizations this way. They continue to operate in this method. Other backdoors utilized include the NCC Trojan, the COTX, DNSF, Log2, and a previously undocumented malware adopted as COTSPAM. as named for owning its similarities with COD-X. Each provides extensive functionality to commandeering the systems and harvesting sensitive data like China only knows how to do. A pro-China information campaign used fake websites to spread propaganda, according to Mandiant. Dozens of news websites operating in the US, Europe, Asia, and elsewhere claim to be independent or are part of a massive propaganda effort to disseminate content strategically aligned with the political interests of the Chinese Communist Party, according to a new report from Mandiant. On Thursday, the firm announced it detected at least 72 sites, several fake social media accounts, and a wide-reaching information operation that essentially was very critical of Speaker Pelosi's trip to Taiwan, as well as people who are talking about the China treatment of Uyghur Muslims in Zhejiang. In one tweet from a now suspended account, 3 images of the fabricated letter intended to smear anthropologist Adrian Zenz by suggesting they received funding from Rubio or Steve Bannon, trying to dismiss using kind of the local Western distrust in some sources or the mainstream media labeling in order to distrust these folks as well. So the Chinese embassy didn't comment, but you can tell that they were using website names like Austria Weekly, Focus on Russia, Egypt Daily, Jakarta Globe, again, trying to make it seem very local, but really pushing Chinese propaganda there as well. And North Korea is increasing its use of crypto heists to fund nukes, is worrying the U.S., according to Ann Neuberger, the Deputy National Security Advisor for Cyber and Emerging Technology. They're getting very concerned about North Korea's cyber capabilities. And again, China is essentially training the North Koreans. They're giving them access to do this. This is a major issue, as this is how the North Koreans, under sanctions, are funding their missile system and their nuclear program. They're targeting these crypto exchanges. They're stealing, 50 million in digital assets just between 20 and 2021. But then, if you look at even most recently, virtual game Axie Infinity, 620 million was attributed to the North Korean Lazarus Group. And so forth. So you can tell that there's a big concern over these illicit fundings and something to keep in mind. Folks, that's it for our show today. We'll be back with a whole lot more tomorrow. Until then, have a great rest of your day. And most importantly, stay cyber safe.
We love feedback, so make sure to connect with us on social media and subscribe to our podcast on your favorite podcast listening platform.